Can you hear me? Let me know down below if you can hear me, because then we got 50% of this little show going. And just remember, this stream is only for the sexy looking people.
This dance ain't for everybody. Only the sexy people.
As I've said many times, right? We need to act in contrast to what it is that we actually read in the media. So when the mainstream media, they go out of their way to say that Bitcoin to the moon, altcoins to the moon, and everything is gonna be lovely. That's when we sell, right? I think we all know that by now. So to do the opposite, remember, also, you know, all this awareness going on in the US, right? Left is right and right is left, up is down and down is up. Sister Shelly is brother Jamal, right? So we need to do the opposite. And then we just go in here quickly and we look. Now this is The Guardian. I think that's from the United Kingdom, and you basically can find this in any language. SEC crypto crackdown. US regulator sues Binance and Coinbase. We got 10 coins that are not securities or even more, right? Of course, mainstream media talk about it. CNBC, crypto tokens plunged this week after Gensler stepped up SEC crackdown. I mean, it literally cannot be worse. But as we all know, this is exactly the time that you and we buy. Because one thing is guaranteed. The future of finance is being built right in front of our eyes. And it's being built on the blockchain. And today, yet again, I will confirm that it's being built on Ethereum. Anyway, let's start, and I think it goes a little something like this. I want to welcome you to Crypto Never Sleeps. In case you're new to this channel, you want to stay on top of the crypto world, well then do me a favor, hit like, smash and subscribe and all them goodies so that you can be notified every time we upload new videos, so that you can, and this is important to me, protect your wealth, preserve your wealth, and ultimately increase your wealth. My name is Nico Arachi, and I'm the host of the littlest crypto channel on the interweb. Jesus, I wish I was BitBoy. Anyway, so first things first, always, I like to look at, also for me, if I haven't looked at the market all day, so we need to have a little look at the level of market manipulation. I'm going to make myself here smaller. Again, here we're looking, what are we looking? We're looking at the 1 hour instead of the 15-minute, but more or less you can see that Bitcoin down 0.8% at almost 26,000. We got Ethereum down 1.7 at 1,739, and then we got Cardano at 27 cents on the dollar, and we got DOT at 4.5. So not really a whole lot since we saw each other on Saturday has happened. But as always, you can see that these charts, they just follow each other like they are, 2 times twin brothers. Looking at Bitcoin, I like to look at the weekly, but still we are below the 7-day moving average. We've been there for, for what is it, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 weeks, right? Still, I know that it's funny, and it is, but things don't have to be so complicated. When we look at the monthly, we're still above. Remember, if you want to really watch technical analysis and understand, because technical analysis, I mean, we have all, I guess, anybody who investing, they have been studying, the Japanese candlesticks, and we try to head and shoulder patterns and all them goodies. We all try to see if the past can show us the future. But in reality, the markets are being made by the market makers. It's simply about liquidity. And there are some forces manipulating the markets. And if there's one channel I really have to recommend, it is Tino's from Traders Reality. Go over there and you will learn a lot more about technical analysis or what is driving the prices.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's have a conversation. mad love and respect to every single one of you beautiful people.
And you know, a few times we've also, I mean, we try also to compare the price, or they say the chart, with the what I forgot the name here, with the Wyckoff price cycle. I don't want to go too much into this. I've done this in the past, but remember, this is the accumulation scheme from Wyckoff, and we can say phase A, B, C, D, E. And I think that for us right now, it looks like that we are in phase E. And I believe we're still there. Because if we look at this is the current chart, even though I don't have here, because it's not completely updated, so I don't have this last candle stick down to 25,000. But according to this Wyckoff accumulation schematic, we are still very much in phase E, which, if anything, is a bullish sign for us. And I think because I know there's been a lot of, we've been scared a little bit about what's happening with the SEC, but everything looks good. And not only the Wyckoff model looks like everything is the way it's supposed to be. Also, if we go in here, and this is the total hash rate for Bitcoin. I hope you can see it. And the Bitcoin fundamentals still look like we're going to the moon. You see, we should not be too concerned, from my point of view, about the short-term price action. What we need to look at is the underlying network data. And the underlying network data displays a different trend. So this week, and this is as almost every week in 2023, the network difficulty and the hash rate have been aiming for new all-time highs. This is good. And the hash rate is already higher than ever. And according to some estimates, while difficulty will increase by approximately 2.5% in this week, this will take us past the 53 trillion for the first time. So the fundamentals, when we look at Bitcoin, are very, very optimistic. Before we go in and say hello to the chat, we got many things to talk about. Let's just have a quick look here. We're still above the 1 trillion. And let's see here, 24 hours. Yeah, not so much happening. XRP up. I mean, XRP, oh, wait, sorry, you cannot. There we go. I drift the screen here. Just looking at the watch list, but still overall down. Uniswap up has lifted. And that's funny, right? We look at this. Filecoin is up 3.6%. And why do I say that that's funny? Filecoin was in fact one of the coins that was listed by the SEC as a security. So I also have that list, and I wanted to go through that. I don't want to talk too much about the SEC and what consequences, because it is hard to know what the consequences are. But these were the coins. This is the full list of the cryptos named securities in the SEC lawsuit against Binance and Coinbase. So we can see Cosmos, Binance, Coty, Chiliz, Near, Flow, Internet Computer, Voyager, Dash, Nexo, and Solana, Cardano, Polygon, Filecoin, Sandbox, Decentraland, Algorand, and Axie Infinity. Now, I mean, I think that I cannot imagine that this is going to have very long-term problems. You see, we all know and understand that the future of finance is not going to be this decentralized financial system that we all initially hoped for. It's very much going to be centralized. And I think that with the launch of the CBDC, it's just a matter of there has to be some kind of regulation. And like Polkadot, that actually worked together with the SEC and is not being viewed as a security, I think that a lot of these coins here, they will follow suit. And especially if we look at a coin like Filecoin, right? I mean, it is one of the biggest, I think it is the biggest infrastructure provider of decentralized storage, which we are going to need for the Web3. So I really like the fact that that Filecoin is going a little bit against the trend, up 3%. Anyway, let's see here. So the overall is still a little bit down. Of course, when we look at the 7-day trend, somewhere what we see between 9 and 20%. But remember, go against the trend. You know which coins I love. I know we also need to do a portfolio update, but don't be scared. That's really my view. But again, everything I say and do here is not financial advice. Remember, I don't know shit about crypto. And now let's run to the chit chat and see if anybody's in the mood. So who is here? We got Sandra. Nice to see you. Always good with some sexy ladies in the house. CryptoCoggy, how are you? Crypto Millionaire, Wall Street Bets, Alexandra Boyd, blessings and peace to all, peace, crypto, and prosper. Yeah, we hope. And I think it's only a matter of time. And we got Martis, also new. Panos, good to see you. You've not been here for a while. Thomas, nice to see you. And Shahida, meet my soul brother. Ron Jeremy is here. Good to see you. And we say, yeah, let's make money, Crypto Millionaire. That is, let's make money. Ripper, how are you doing? Good to see you. And, Inakone French is also here. Happy to see you again after this long break. Yeah, we all need some breaks. In the end, I will talk a little bit about my private situation if anybody wants to listen to this. Red Start, good to see you. No Face, Soul Brother, and Blockchain Betty. Where's Jerry? Where's Chit Chat Jerry? And we got Vex here too. And yes, Ivan, good to see you. By the way, I will also here at some point today, good luck with the broadcast, thank you. I will also today announce a new coin that we're going to buy that I think has a lot of potential. And not only are we going to buy it, we're also going to buy, because I think the future, I mean, the main blockchains that are going to be a part of the future of finance are already there. We know the big ones, right? So now we have to look at the underlying protocols that could play a role. And I think I got a good combination, a very good combination. So I'm going to launch a video in 2 days about it. But yeah, so let's see when it's going to fit in to the program. What are your projects? Which have you not yet had a bull run? Well, well, when it comes to which projects that haven't had a bull run, right? I mean, for that, we all just need to go in. I like that, you know, that we go into CoinGo.Live and we go in here. And then you basically, I mean, I love this overview and I almost show it every time. Go in here and CoinGo.Live and look at the coins. You have a good overview and you can see the coins that, how much potential here in green. You can see the potential, how many percent up to the past all-time highs. And then you can see how much they're down. And yeah, why not just go ahead and say the project that we have bought yesterday and today is HBAR, Hedera. And they're down 92%. Potential reward is 1,161%. But I think, I mean, we have spoken about them, but we haven't really entered them. And I think there's a lot of potential. So, where do we have it here? I wanted to show you one. Where we have. I mean, when you just go in here, first of all, in case, I mean, I will make a video here in 2 days, but it's a blockchain, and look at the companies that are a part of this. DBS, a huge bank. We got Dell, you all know Dell Technologies. Deutsche Telekom, the biggest telecommunications company in Germany. EDF, the largest, one of the largest French energy companies, I think. Google's there, IBM, LG, Nomura. What else do we got? DLA Pipe, also a big bank. Standard Bank, Shinhan Bank, and Tata Communications. I think there's a lot of potential here with Hedera, with HBAR. So not only are we have we just entered it into this position, also, if you look here, and I like this very much, go into sentiment and go in here, and you can look at, I hope it's big enough, you can look at the development activity for the past 30 days. And when we look here, we can still see on the first spot is Kusama and Polkadot. You know, I love those dots, both of them, Polkadot and the ugly cousin Kusama. Here they're seeing the highest developer activity in the past 30 days. Then we got Cardano. I'm sure Cardano is going to be able to regulate those things with the SEC. And on the fourth place, we got Hedera. I mean, not a lot of attention. You know, we don't read or see a lot about Hedera, Hashgraph, but I think a lot of potential. So also go in, and if we go to DeFi Llama, now still on Hedera, here we go in and we can look at the total value locked in the ranking. So these are the you know, how much volume, value, dollars that are locked in on Hedera. It's still very little. 21 million. Very little. But we are going to, and we already have, I gotta admit, bought some Heli Swap tokens. So with the Heli Swap tokens, now there are, you can see here, they're ranked number 4, but they just recently launched. And so in 2 days when we launch this video, what I will show there is that we're gonna stake, actually farm, provide liquidity with Heli and with the HBAR tokens, and the rewards that you can generate on Heli Swap are about 100%. Now the interesting thing about Heli Swap, I mean, is that I don't know, you know, I don't know if it's going to be the number 1 DEX. So there's a lot of risk, but also a lot of potential reward. And I like what they're doing, and I like the people behind. Heli Swap has a market cap of 160,000. I mean, that's nothing. It is nothing. So and I love you should go in and show you, as I said in the video, their app. Absolutely fantastic. It's easy to use, and they're great. Look at the pools here. Actually, I wanted to show you this in the end because we got to go through the news, but this is also interesting. So, for example, you got the pools. I want to look at the farms. I mean, the user, what do you say? The UI and the UX is great. Always takes a little bit time here. Usually it doesn't take so much time. Anyway, you should look at that. At least this is our new position, and I like that we can also earn some good staking rewards. So for example, here you can see Heli and HBAR. I hope you can see it. You can currently generate more than 100% APR. And I kind of have a feeling that they will correlate when it comes to price. Anyway, so this is a little bit about new coins, and we need to get into the news. The news. That's important. First piece of news is Bank of Japan advances CBDC program following successful tests. So the Bank of Japan, they have successfully wrapped up the second phase of its study into possibilities of a central bank digital currency. And this year-long project, spanning from April 2022 to March 2023, enhanced and built upon the foundational ledger function explored in the first phase. The report indicates that this second phase focuses on technologies to establish maximum limits on CBDC holdings, which the BOJ views as a crucial step towards ensuring financial stability. Now, everything I read there, did you understand anything of that? Did that make any kind of sense? Well, not really to me. And that's also so, always prior to these streams, I'm like sitting and I'm trying to, the only thing that really matters is on which blockchain are they building it? And they never share that. I mean, also when you can go into the Bank of Japan, you can look at the white paper, and they simply, you have to really look far. And I did, however, was able to come up and find something And it is interesting because Bank of Japan and the European Central Bank have actually together worked on a project, and the name is pretty simple, Project Stellar. So again, it's another confirmation that Stellar is very much going to establish themselves as a CBDC provider. However, and yeah, we can also, I found it also here. When you go in here, this is a document from the World Bank, and this is back in 2021. So central bank digital currencies for cross-border payments. I will share it in the group. I mean, I know this is a little bit of heavy reading, but some of you sometimes do wanna go through it. Now, when you go into this World Bank document, you will find basically 3 protocols that they are using. 3 protocols, and it's very basic. It is Ethereum, it is Hyperledger Corda, which of course is also Ethereum compatible, and then it is Stellar. Now I'm not gonna, if we have so much to go through. You got the PDF there, so you can look at it in case you want to. But trust me, or at least I hope you believe me. You can see here project. Here we go. So the CBDCs for cross-border payments. So we got here the BOC, Bank of China, Bank of England mass models, and then we got Project Ethan Rock, and Lion Rock is of course Ethereum, and all of it here is Ethereum based. Maybe it's Quorum, of course, which is JP Morgan permission blockchain, but also Project Stellar. And if you really go through this, you will see that most of the world has already been split up. Also, of course, you can go to the Atlantic Council tracker, and you can go in here and you can see the developments of the CBDCs. And you can see currently 11 launched, 18 pilots, 32 developments, 40 research. But it's not always that you can really find what the underlying technology is. For example, when you go in here on Japan, you can see status pilot, use case both, and all you get here is at least Project Stellar. So that's important. I wanted to show you one more thing that I found also very interesting. This here is a little bit older, but this is also a summary where we finally found the various coins around the world and which blockchains they are using. And it is again Ethereum and Corda. Of course, Corda and Hyperledger Fabric, it's all based on or compatible with Ethereum as well as Quorum. Now, one thing that I also wanted to mention, I don't have the perfect slide for this, but the Chinese, the yuan, is very much also compatible with Ethereum. And that's also another thing we don't speak about, right? So it's always been like China is ahead, they're developing. I mean, they're the first country to develop their CBDC. But now recently, China launched a smart contract functionality on digital yuan through e-commerce app. And so it's always like small bits and pieces that we get, but it is very much compatible. And we can see here China's been at the forefront of the CBDC development among major countries as it started to test the digital currency as early as 2020. The currency has been used in retail transactions and to buy securities, but smart contract functionality on mass retail scale has yet to be tested. But of course, the smart contract functionality is going to work. And this leads me also to the next thing. It doesn't matter if the US and China, from a geopolitical point of view, if they don't like each other, or maybe they don't like Russia, but somehow when it comes to money, they are all very much on the same page. Just think about that for a second. You see, even when we go in here and we look at the Bank for International Settlements, remember, Bank for International Settlements is the mother of all central banks. And the BIS Innovation Hub, we can go, this was from October 2022, but I guarantee you that this was all planned a long time ago. And this project is called the M-Bridge. And what is the M-Bridge? Well, it's simply just a project between the Hong Kong Monetary Authority, Bank of Thailand, Central Bank of the UAE, and the People's Bank of China. And all what this is supposed to create, this project, is that we can see a flawless cross-border payment system from China connected to the rest of the world. That's how much the countries, they are working to get. Everything has been laid out. Everything is really, I don't know how to say it, it's on track. And I really believe that 2025 is when we're going to see the CBDC global cross-border introduction. That's also why I think that by 2025 we're going to see Bitcoin somewhere between 200 to 250, and Ethereum, I think, around 15,000. But now we need to go over some other news, what we have here. So Robinhood, they're going to end support for 3 tokens that was named in the SEC lawsuit. I mean, I'm not going to go more into that, right? Anyway, but yeah, so 3 of them are not going to be there anymore. And in case you have your coins there, be so kind and take them out. Nigeria to tax crypto digital assets 10% on capital gains. On the eve of this departure from office, May 28, former Nigerian President Buhari signed the Finance Act 2023 into law. The act introduces a series of tax reforms aimed at modernizing the country's fiscal framework. Among its provisions was the introduction of a 10% tax gain from the disposal of digital assets, including cryptocurrencies. And here we are talking, and this is, Nigeria, they already have their cryptocurrency, right? One of the 11 countries that have launched it. And this is going to be very simple. Like everything in the future, remember, the CBDC is not necessarily, something that we really want as a democracy, as people who value privacy. I don't speak so much about it because we're here to make money, right? So we try to follow the trend. But how it's going to be in the future with the CBDC, and remember, I live in Ukraine, and Ukraine is also launching their CBDC on Stellar, and we are already very much using it here. And so basically, how it's going to be in the future is you don't have to worry anymore about a tax return, at the end of the year. You don't need to worry about that anymore. It's all just going to be deducted straight up front. And this is just one of the, one of the mechanisms that makes the CBDC so transparent and good, I'd say. Kraken. So we can move on to Kraken here. From my point of view, the best, most stable, let's say, exchange in the world. And Kraken NFT exits beta. And so crypto exchange Kraken has announced that its non-fungible token marketplace has exited its beta phase, and along with the launch, the NFT platform highlighting it had expanded its number of NFT collections from 70 to over 250. So that's just good. They're also moving into NFT, as everyone will. Crypto.com. I hate Crypto.com, but that's just me. I tried to do something on the app, and they cheated me into locking up some coins for a year. Because I wanted that credit card. And then once I had locked my coins in for a year, then they said the country that I live in is not, can't get that credit card. So since then, I simply don't use them. But nevertheless, what are they saying here? Crypto.com will no longer serve institutional clients in the United States after announcing the suspension of the services starting June 21. So much for that. I don't know. Are you using crypto.com? Do you like it? I really don't. But anyway, I mean, fundamentally, maybe they are good. What do we have here? Ava Labs launches Avalanche Arcade 3 to help game studios enter the Web 3. So Ava Labs, the crypto firm supporting the Avalanche blockchain, announced today that it's launching Avalanche Arcade 3, which is a program for traditional game developers to explore blockchain game integrations. And a part of the announcement, they also shared the Japanese metaverse and entertainment firms Ri and Gumi have joined Arcade 3 as two of its earliest partners exploring blockchain gaming via Ethereum compatible chains. Tycho Labs also, it's a crypto startup focused on scaling the Ethereum blockchain, raised 22 million across 2 rounds. The first was 10 million seed raised by Sequoia, China, and the second was 12 million pre-Series A round led by Generative Ventures. Very interesting, but that was not the piece of news I wanted to share. This is good news. Engine on the wall, who is the greatest NFT and gaming protocol of them all. So NFT platform Engine forked Polkadot parachain Affinity to new mainnet. So Engine has announced its transition to a new mainnet called Engine Blockchain, aiming to further Web3 adoption. Following the transition, its Polkadot parachain called Affinity has been forked to the new blockchain. Also good. And then here we have Bitfly adopts crypto deposits to comply with travel rule. On May 30th, major Japanese crypto exchange Bitfly announced the adoption of measures in response to the enforcement of stricter AML standards targeting crypto transactions in Japan. I mean, that's another thing. Let's just really finish it. So they have introduced restrictions on deposits and transfers, disabling transactions to and from exchanges that are not part of the travel rule universal solution technology. You see, right now, we all talk about that we can travel around with our ledger, go through borders, travel from one country to the other. And you probably know that when you go through immigration, they will always ask you, do you have more than, I think, $10,000 or 10,000 euro? And I always smile and say, I got 200 euro in the left and $5 in the right pocket. But then you just go through with your ledger and basically I have all Betty's money there. But of course, that is also going to change with the CBDC. Here, Japan is really on the forefront when it comes to crypto. And that's also why I think a star, which is one of our favorite holdings on the Polkadot ecosystem, because they're very, very, very active in Japan. So Japanese largest airlines, they're launching the NFT marketplace, and all Nippon Airways, I don't know if you've flown with them, they're kind of okay. Anyways, the largest airline in Japan, and they launched their some aeronautical themed non-fungible tokens. And anyway, again, I mean, it is coming, right? So the SEC news here that we had a few days ago, maybe not so good, but in the end of the day, we are living in a democracy where we have democratically elected our leaders, and they are just, protecting us from ourselves. Bybit gets pre-approval in Kazakhstan as crypto custody service provider. I mean, that's also important. And what do we got here? Also not. Beijing releases Web3 white paper. I mean, there's a lot of Web3, and it is really on governmental levels. I mean, even when we talk about ANA Airlines, right? I think it's not a private airline. It's probably owned by the government. Anyway, so Beijing's local government on Saturday released a white paper outlining plans and challenges for development of the city's Web3 industry, defined as the next evolution of the internet built around decentralized blockchain technologies, the metaverse and non-fungible tokens. And Beijing joins other cities and regions in the country in announcing plans to build capabilities in Web3. So that's about that. It again goes to show the future finance is being built on the blockchain. The only thing that we really need to do is that we need to make sure that we identify the market leaders of tomorrow. And I try the hardest that I can, even though I've had many breaks in the past few months. Anyway, so let's go to chit chat and see. Yeah, let's see here. What is a little nice flash crash the first? Yeah, we had a little flash crash. We will have many more flash crash streams in the future because, again, the flash crash, actually, it was the first flash crash. It could have been the first flash crash stream because we also go down around 20%, and I think that we will ultimately see a recovery. That's it, guys. I hope you, and Kraken loves you. See you tomorrow. And I hope this gave you some kind of value, just running through the news. I mean, it is across the board. I think we don't need to convince, I don't need to convince you, basically, and you don't need to convince me. Blockchain is the future. And we are, unfortunately, still waiting for this explosion of money flowing in so we can ultimately see our 1000% returns on investment. God damn it, I can tell you, Betty, she can't wait, and neither can I. Take care, and I will see you tomorrow. And remember, don't, never, ever